Hello, fellow old schoolers. Now, this is the first real live game I've had in 2021, actually. So, we were a bunch of guys that just met up spontaneously, only 3 guys, actually. And yeah, it turned out that we wanted to trade some cards, and it turned out that we had all of us a recent test for COVID-19, a negative test. So, we thought, well, we might as well get some games in. And so there's a mini series here, and the first match we're about to see is from a new format that's brewing in Denmark lately. It's probably also in other countries. It's called AB60. And the entire format is like a celebration of the oldest editions in Magic. So only alpha and beta cards are allowed. So that is a restriction in of itself, because I know personally I don't have any beta duels. I don't have just a lot of cards. So decks will resemble more the decks we had when we were kids. There's some additional restrictions as well, insofar that all power is banned, and so is a Yimday Tomb, because it's really powerful in this format. And Mind Twist is banned because there isn't much of a draw engine, so a Mind Twist would just be, well, it would be game ending usually, even more than what it usually is. Other than that, mana burn is in effect, and the normal restrictions apply, so 4 of each, and unless it's restricted cards like Balance, Wheel of Fortune, Demonic Tutor, and stuff like that. So this is the first time that we play this format, and I've cooked up a mono black deck. Gotta represent, I suppose. I'm not Gandalf the Blue or Gandalf the White. And we're coming up against this grumpy, angry shaman within Jens Ole that has cooked up his green deck with a splash of red. And we have a picture of Jens Ole here. He wants the swamp to turn into a forest, I presume. Here's his deck. A lot of green critters. We have a beautiful Gaia's Leech in the middle there, some Elvis Archers, and some huge spiders, and a big Crawworm. Then we have a bunch of enchantments like Lure, Wild Growth. He even has a mana bird to mana fix him here, Soaring for extra mana. And of course, Giant Growth and Berserks are just very, very green cards, and they need to be here. And the burn, well, his Lightning Bolts disintegrates on Fireball, and he has the age-old trick of using a channel with that Fireball. Pretty nasty stuff. Hurricanes as well. And then the single natural selection will actually be pretty nice in this format, because we don't have any draw engines, so making a choice of what you're going to draw next is pretty damn strong. But he is coming up against this old grumpy necromancer here, who wants the swamp to stay exactly as it is, and preferably spread out into the mountains and forests as well. So this is my brew, my first AB60 mono black brew. And some of these artifacts are just some I threw in. That black wires, I found that in a binder, so wanted to put that in there. Otherwise, there's a lot of black creatures here I usually play with, like the Hypnotic Spectres and the Black Knights. We also have a couple of Singia Vampires, and that King of the Hill, the Nightmare, the terrifying Nightmare that gets stronger the more swamps are in play. I just recently acquired him, actually the same day as we had this game. And we saw that Jens Ole has put in that old school trick with the channel of Fireball. In this deck, I've managed to acquire a Royal Assassin, and with that Niddling Imp, that's another very, very old schoolyard trick here. We even have an Icy Manipulator to tap stuff down and make the Royal Assassin slice them up. Apart from that, we have some Drudge Skeletons and some beautiful Frozen Shades. I really like that card, and it's very good in a mono brew like this, because you could really pump it up with all that black mana available. Now, red is usually very, very brutal in its removal, with Lightning Bolts, Fireballs, Shatters, stuff like that, but black is no slouch either. We have all the Terrors here, and a couple of Paralyze that works well with the Royal Assassin and Icy as well. And a Weakness, just found that in the binder, so we put that in. And obviously we have some Necromancy as well, in form of that Raise Dead. And the Demonic Tutor rounds it off, so that we can, I don't know, perhaps tutor for the Nightmare at some point. That would be pretty damn epic. Sinkholes are perhaps, they don't have a lot of viable targets in a format like this, because they aren't any special lands really, but we can crack regular lands and perhaps set him back to that Blackwise. It will work. Otherwise, we can at least postpone him and get some big beaters out with Dark Rituals and hopefully hold his big beaters like Cockatrice and stuff like that back for a while. So that is the matchup. The sour Shaman wanting the forests to be here and the grumpy Necromancer, age-old enemies here. Let's see who comes out on top tonight. So this is round number 1 in this best of 3 with the green wizard on the left here. And this is my hand. It's an okay opening hand, not a lot of tempo in it, but we have a lot of removal and can perhaps get some control in with that Icy Manipulator. A terror and a weakness is fail safes here, but no Dark Rituals, sadly. Let's see what happens here. With a quick roll off, there's a 6 and a 1, so the green wizard takes initiative here. Okay, making a jungle out of that forest. Getting some early mana out. And the Necromancer just putting down a swamp and passing the turn. So yeah, the green wizard already have 3 mana here, but not casting anything yet. That wild growth forest is susceptible to some to a nasty sinkhole though. Okay, getting out something here. Ooh, a Cockatrice, turn 3. It doesn't really have the mana for it, but never mind. We just terrorize it immediately. I think it was a mistake, as I remember. He only had 4 mana. Okay, following up with a creature from the Black Wizard here. That's a Hypnotic Spectre, pretty damn strong in this format, as the cards you lose from its Hypnotic Gaze is pretty hard to recuperate from. But let's see, green has those hurricanes to fling it away. No red mana though, that is a problem. Okay, there's a mountain. Okay, and a lightning bolt just cracking out down and blasting that Hypnotic Spectre. Oh, he realizes here that yeah, he wanted to play another 5-drop creature, but realizes here that the earlier Cockatrice was a mistake. That he can't play another 5-drop at this point. He only has 4 mana. So we realized the mistake here, but just continue playing. Never mind. We gotta be more mindful for what mana we have available. Okay, 4 mana. Okay, here comes the Icy Manipulator. This is Jens Ole's first AB60 brew as well, and I don't think he plays it with any shadows. Okay, there's a Thicket Basilisk though. It's the sibling of that Cockatrice. But yeah, he will need a shadow to get rid of that Icy, won't he? Oh, and a Royal Assassin. Yeah, just emphasizing that slick combination there. Old as the game. Royal Assassin, Icy Manipulator. He attacks with the Thicket Basilisk and he gets frozen down with the Icy Manipulator instead of getting in. So he will need to, I don't know, lightning bolt that assassin. Now it hops up on the back of that Thicket Basilisk and just decapitates it. Frozen Shade being produced here out of the swamp. And tapping his wild growth forest in his upkeep with the Icy Manipulator. Okay, here they come. Even the Royal Assassin coming over. It gets berserked though, so only doing 2 points of damage. Yeah, he doesn't want to berserk the Frozen Shade for obvious reasons. It does 4 damage to him, so taking 6 points of damage, but getting rid of that Royal Assassin. But the Necromancer, he won't allow it. Not even in death does duty end. That Royal Assassin is a zombie Royal Assassin now. Getting back into the hand with the raised dead. Nothing coming out of the Shaman though. Frozen Shade getting over, and the Royal Assassin for 2 points of damage, and Royal Assassin gets put into play again. Reused ninja. Now attacking for 4 with the Frozen Shade, pumping it at in his upkeep, tapping his mountain. But there's another mountain, probably just to hold fireballs and other removal stuff back, so it postpones him a turn. But he now has 2 mountains, only at 8 life though. Seems a bit mana flooded. Okay, coming over everything. Testing Fate again. Okay, Dark Ritual into the Frozen Shade. That's 8 points of damage. 7 from the Frozen Shade and 1 from the Royal Assassin, just ending the game right here. Almost the hand of the Necromancer. So, yeah, Mono Black takes the first game here. That Icy Manipulator, Royal Assassin combination, and backed up by a pumped up Frozen Shade did the trick. I think perhaps Jens Ole should consider getting some shadows in, but then again there aren't that many artifacts, so I'm not really sure. So, gearing up for round number 2, and the green-red player, the Shaman, is on the play here. Again. Okay, this time going on the offensive here with a turn 1 Script Sprite. It's get weakened though, and is out of the game, or into the graveyard at least, getting -1 in toughness. But there's another of those fairies coming out, and the Black Knight getting bolted though. The Script Sprite comes in for a single poke. Oh, Dark Ritual here. Okay, that Dark Ritual summoned up an ancient vampire from the tombs. It can hold that Script Sprite away and even grow into a 5/5 if it eats that Script Sprite. Okay, he attacks though. I don't dare to block here. There might be a Giant Growth or Bolt. So we'll just trade. Oh, okay, sinkholing the mountain here. And then coming in with the vampire for 4 points of damage. That's a nice trade. And another Black Knight just keeps on coming here. And he has no red mana now, so can't really fireball the vampire. Electing to keep back with the Script Sprite. So sounds like, looks like he has a Giant Growth, right? Or something. And never mind, we'll have to draw it out. Yeah, just getting a huge Script Sprite 4/4 with that spell, and it takes out the vampire. That's a Hypnotic Spectre though. So the pressure just keeps on going here. And having cracked him out of red mana, it becomes difficult for him to keep up. Here they come, 4 points of damage. Okay, making this Hypnotic Spectre go berserk just to get rid of it. Yeah, nicking a Disintegrate. Sinkholing that red mana was really crucial. Now sinkholing a forest. Those are really good. Perhaps it's because there are no Moxen here. Really holds him back. He only has 3 mana. Here comes the Black Knight again. He has a Lightning Bolt in hand. Okay. An elf, so that's mana for him. Black Knight comes over, down to 4 mana. Oh, and another Hypnotic Spectre. I think this is game. What does he have here? A Timberwolf and a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, he could if I hadn't cracked that other forest, he could get down a Cockatrice now and block my creatures all day, because the Cockatrice will make creatures to stone. And it doesn't even need that. With a 2/4 profile, it can block and kill both the Black Knight and the Hypnotic Spectre. And then the Timberwolf could be sacrificed to the Black Knight in the first batch. So he could have held on. But yeah, sinkholes, man, seems kind of OP in this format as of now. Perhaps Jens Ole will get some beta Stone Rains in his deck if he owns them. I wouldn't put it past Jens Ole to make a more nasty combination next time. Red and green seems like a very, very strong combination as well. Even without the tigers, he still has the Llanowar Elves, Wild Growth, and even a bird to get some tempo out. And that Gaia's Leech, it just looks nasty in this format if it's not removed pretty soon. Anyway, that's a quick game out of this evening. Next up is a regular old school match between Jens Ole and Henrik. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.